Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about what made me successful when I finally chose to quit drinking for good. There's 5 different steps that I'm going to go through. The first one though I think is the most important because I'm sorry, because you have to do it for yourself, because you can't do it for your mother, you can't do it for your boyfriend, girlfriend, sister, child, anyone, because at the end of the day, you have to do this for yourself, because you're gonna have moments where you're just gonna feel frustrated. You're like, why am I even doing this? And if the answer is you're doing this for you because you want a better life and you want to feel better about yourself, you want to just be a better person, and you don't like the person who you are when you drink, which is, for my case, that's how it was. It'll help you stay on the path, because I tried to do this a couple times for other people, and every time the result was the same. You know, whether you're trying to do it for your mom, your sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, children, whoever, you're going to end up resenting that person, because you're going to feel like, you get into a fight with that person, or you get to a point where you want to drink and you're just like, well, I'm doing it for them, I'm not even doing this for myself anymore. You're going to start resenting that person, and they're not, only you can keep you in check. They're not, you're responsible for you. Your actions are your own. You can't sit there like, oh, it's their fault because they made me mad, so that's why I drank and I'm doing it for them. Like, all this stuff, it just doesn't work. And you'll resent that person, and it's going to ruin your relationship with that person. So you have to like really dig deep and be like, this is why I'm quitting, and it's for me. Second one is choose your circle wisely. And what I mean by that is this is something I've kind of learned from going to the AA groups. Now they are a little more extreme with it. Like, if you have anyone who drinks or partakes in anything that's like maybe a struggle for you, like any kind of like drugs or whatever, that they're gonna tell you to like cut ties completely. I didn't really feel like I needed to do that, because I could be around alcohol and not drink. It had to be like a choice that I made. And I did. And the first, I went to concerts where there's plenty of alcohol around me, and my friends were really great about not drinking, or they didn't want to drink around me. And I was like, no, it's fine. And they didn't pressure me to do that. So, you kind of have to like weed out the people who aren't going to be supportive of you in that first couple of months. Make sure that you're surrounding yourself with the people who are really going to, push you, be like, no, you're doing great, motivate you, because this is going to be a tough road. The first 3 months were rough for me. Like, I just was like, oh, I just don't even want to do this. I'm bored, which kind of leads me into my next one. Really need to like dig into your interests and hobbies, because what came to really became really obvious to me really early on was that I'm like, I have no hobbies or interests outside of going to the bars. And it was just like, what do I do? Like every weekend, that's what you would, Monday through Friday, oh, it's the weekend, let's go to the bars, let's go hang out, let's go do something. And so then the weekends came around, I was like, what do I do with myself? And I ended up finding friends, that we went to dinner, we went to festivals, I went to concerts, and everyone's different. Like, for me, I was okay going around the alcohol. I just made sure I didn't drink. And like, my friends, like I said, were very supportive. Like, they weren't pressuring me at all. So I felt comfortable going into those situations. If you don't feel like you can do that, then maybe find a different kind of a hobby. Maybe go into painting. I started reading more books again. I binged a couple movies. Do some work on your house, or, there's just so many things that you can kind of try and get into. And we've really seen that, the last 2 months in quarantine. I started a YouTube page. That's kind of been my hobby the last couple of weeks. But you need to have something to put your time and energy into, because if you're just kind of like locking yourself in your home on the weekend because you can't go out and drink, like that's depressing. Like, you still need to be out and about. The next thing is self-care. You really need to like take care of yourself, and I feel like that's different for everyone. For me, like, I like to go get massages, get my like pedicure, manicure, I'll get some facials done, get my hair done, like that. Like, going to the spa, that is my self-care. Like, or tanning, anything spa related, like that is, if you ever like want to get me something just to like make me happy, birthday presents, Christmas presents, like, get me a spa day. I will be so grateful because that is my self-care. So find out what your self-care is. What, like, maybe it's reading a book and taking a long bath, or taking your dog for a walk. Like, you have to like put something back into you gotta feed your soul a little bit somehow. So self-care, whatever that is for you. Last thing is community. Now, this kind of sounds similar to choosing your circle, but what I mean by this is, because you have your friends that do drink, but you also need to find like a community that is going to kind of reinvigorate you like into the non-drinking. For me, that was AA. And my boyfriend, because he doesn't really drink either. And even his family, his mom doesn't drink, and I have other friends that don't drink that kind of helps me, because it's like, oh, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, let's hang out, let's do something. Like, who are these people? Like, let's, or I would go to AA meetings, and like, that was very helpful for me, having that community of like, okay, this is something I can go and do. They're going to have like advice for me on like how to continue on and keep going down this path. Now, I don't go to the AA meetings anymore, like I've said in a couple of videos, but I've built a community of people that they also don't drink. Even just from starting these videos, I've had a lot of people reach out to me saying like, oh, I don't drink either, and this is like my reaction to people. And it's been really great, because it's kind of like, okay, I'm not the only one out there, because sometimes we do go to like, we go to bars, and if someone's like, oh, you're not drinking? Why? Like, you're a weirdo. Like, that's so strange. Like, why don't you, like, sometimes it's kind of like, oh, like, I just don't. Sorry. But, so that's what like the community comes in, because, building something you can kind of share with somebody. It's good to have some like-minded people. It really helps. So those are my 5 tips on what to do when you're trying to be sober. And I think this can fit to someone who's just, maybe you just need a change of lifestyle. Someone like me who kind of like, I abused alcohol. I could be around it, but I would consider myself more of an abuser. Or if you're an AA and you're just trying to get to that first meeting, like, maybe this is something that can help you get a little brave and get into those meetings. Because I remember my first meeting, I was terrified walking in there. I'm like, what am I doing? So, all right, well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching my video.